Welcome back, guys.
Welcome.
It has been fun cooking, vacation, a little bit of fishing. Well, not much catching, but fishing. I think that's why they call it fishing, not catching. But time to work a little bit now. We have been telling you guys that the channel is about life, and life is not just about having fun, cooking and having fun. It's a little bit of work too. So, especially with our West Indian community, I know there's a lot of young people. They always come up to me, ask me for advice and stuff like that. But so I'm hoping that this can reach and help some viewers, and if it helped you, please let me know how. Let me know if you guys want us to talk about something else or anything that interests you that we can probably help. So as the video suggests, investing in Florida. Why investing in Florida is the title, is because we are investing in Florida. And we know the Florida market, mainly business market, mainly real estate market, stuff like that. So from the beginning, we, as you guys can see, and you guys have probably watched some of the other videos, we come from very, very humble beginnings. I'm from Guyana, most beautiful place in, I'm not gonna say island because I got myself chewed out the last time I said that. I'm from the beautiful country of Guyana, and Trisha will tell you a little bit of where she is from.
Well, guys, I am from Trinidad. I was born in Trinidad, as you guys know from our previous video, and then I came here, at a younger age, and then ever since, from New York to Florida, and I've been a Floridian for quite a long time, which I love it. It's the best place to be, Florida.
Yes, Florida. Why we love Florida? Because as you guys know, Trisha's from Trinidad, and I'm from Guyana, we love the tropical weather. So we moved down from New York in 2004. We came to visit my sister here, and we fell in love with this place.
Yeah.
We started from rock bottom. If the rock bottom had a basement, I think that's where we started.
Oh yeah, we started from rock bottom. We actually, when we met, after we moved in together, we were actually sleeping on comforters, not a mattress, comforters on the floor for a while. Yeah, it was just him and I just sleeping on comforters. We had like 2 comforters on the floor, on the hard floor in a basement in Queens. I think it was in Rockaway for a while. Yeah, so today the journey we have made, and we still have ways to go. When you look back at those times, it's like, okay, the choices we made were coming to Florida, and one of the best choices we ever made. It has done great for us, and also changed our mindset and stuff like that. As I said, it wasn't easy, but at the same time, it was a good journey, and the journey has been going well. All right, and we still have more to go.
Yes, coming to Florida was actually forced upon us.
Yeah.
By the grace of God. Reason why I say was forced on us by the grace of God is because when we was in New York, we was trying to buy a property. At that point, we was very young and very ambitious. We was hungry because we had a young daughter, and we did not want that child to grow up like us. So we was trying to buy a house in Far Rockaway. A lot of the people from Queens would know exactly where that is. And we were extremely disappointed with a lot of friends and family too. But I guess you're young at that time, you don't understand how the real world works.
He needed a co-signer. Yeah, his credit wasn't like, he didn't have credit. He didn't have a credit card, so he had no debt. But he needed a co-signer, and we were turned down by our family, which was okay. Listen, it is what it is. We were young, so we don't blame them for nothing of that. But God had a plan to get us to Florida, right?
Yes, we did not have a track record. I had a lot of cash, but because I was doing things that I'm not supposed to, but let's not get into that for legal reason. But we had a lot of cash, no credit. I was how old was I then?
You was 19 or 20?
No, Sarah was probably
Two.
three. So 20,
Two.
21 maybe.
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 21. If Sarah was 2, right? Sarah was 2.
Yeah, Sarah was two. So 22.
22 to be exact. Yes, it was 22. And Trish was 20.
20.
So 20 and 22.
Thank you, Sarah.
So you guys, we are so old we can't even remember. How old
We're
we
not
was,
old.
yes.
I'm a young stud.
And yes, so we decided to buy a house that we found beautiful, 2-story with the basement and everything, in Far Rockaway. Gorgeous property. It was a fixer-upper. I was ready to get it fixed up and get it going. I had the cash, but I did not had no one to co-sign with me. I asked a lot of friends, a lot of very close family, and they turned me down, and that was extremely disappointing. I was kind of heartbroken, but one of the things I want to tell you guys, especially West Indian people, when things don't go your way, do not get upset. Do not blame your parents. Do not blame your family. Do not blame your friends. Do not blame God, because at that point, when you are at your lowest and things not going your way, it's because God has greater and bigger plans for you.
Correct.
We was only seeing that property, that house right there, one house, that was it. But I guess God had bigger plans. God wanted something better for us, but we couldn't see past that. So at that point, we got so disappointed. I decided to come visit my sister that was living in Florida, just to get away and breathe a little bit. And God knows why He did that.
And I will tell you why God did that. Because again, as Dave said, God had bigger plans for us. A few years ago, not a few, about, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years ago, when the hurricane came and it destroyed the houses on Rockaway Beach over there. One of the houses, the street that we wanted to purchase the house, was destroyed. So at the end of the day, at that moment, we were like disappointed, but God knew what was coming. And he wanted better for us, but we didn't see it. So that's what I want to share with you guys as well. When things doesn't go your way, yes, as a human being, our minds get carried away and it run a little bit. But sometimes you have to just take a minute. And I'm telling you that because I've experienced it. Take a minute and be like, you know what? God has a plan. And we may not see it, but it's in motion. We just got to trust Him. Yeah.
Sometimes God's plan is way bigger than your plan.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't go your way, bro, don't be disappointed, man.
Yeah.
It's just that you're thinking too small.
Yeah.
All right. So we came and visit my sister in Orlando, Florida. My God, it was like a whole different world open to us.
Yeah.
We went back, and within 3 months, we was residents of Central Florida, Orlando, Florida. And we have not been able to leave this place. It was 3 months, right?
I think it was 6.
6 months?
Yeah, it was 6 months.
Well, you guys know how Guyanese people just exaggerate.
No, you know what? Our timeline sometimes is like we will say 6 months, but it's like less or more. We just start here exaggerating.
Listen, it's just on average, okay? So now we are in Florida. I got lucky that my brother-in-law had a mechanic shop in Orlando. So that's how I got a job as soon as I came. Trish got a job a little after, right? Mm-hmm. What job?
In a liquor store.
Yes, so Trish got a job as a cashier in a liquor store. I got a job as a mechanic, and we worked. How long did we work for like that?
It's a long time, babe.
Well, listen, we can't remember, but listen, we're gonna
Timelines again.
We're gonna establish timelines again.
Yeah.
So Trish worked for a little while in the liquor store. Mm-hmm. Eventually, she worked her way to purchasing the liquor store. Then after that, the economy was a little not too good. We didn't do well in the liquor store, so she became a medical assistant. Am I right?
Yeah. I became a medical assistant and worked in the office for 5-6 years, and then I was finishing up. Actually, I was going to school for nursing, and I get all my prereqs was done, and then I got hurt, and then I had to give up nursing. Actually, I graduated. I graduated with 100 and I don't know, 3 or 4 college credits, just because I had nursing, dongpak, and then I had a whole bunch of business credits. So, I mean, at the end of the day, doing what I'm doing now, I mean, I have gained some knowledge, you know, but the experience comes with hands-on. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what she did. Now she does real estate. Me, what I do, I am an auto mechanic by trade. In New York, I used to do taxi, like limousine, black car, and stuff like that. When I came here, I went back into my trade, mechanic trade. I did that for about 2 years, a year or two.
A year.
I did that for like 1 year. Oh, and then I started doing mobile mechanic.
Yeah.
Started doing mobile mechanic, and then eventually I think I was doing a transmission or something, and I almost got hurt. I said, no, there has to be a better way of doing this. So I decided to open an auto repair shop. Oh, that wasn't easy. I opened that shop and I failed. I think I did like 2 or 3 shops that failed, right? I did this like 2 or 3 times. I kept failing because of improper business management or not knowing about business and stuff like that. So I was at one point where should I go back and get a job, because my brother-in-law, who has a shop, he was offering me really good money to go work back for him. And I said, I think that for the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this just one more time. And if it doesn't work out, I guess I'm going back into getting a job. I tried it. It still wasn't easy. I struggled for a lot of years until I started realizing that maybe I should learn a little more about business and a little less about mechanic. And that's when things started to change. But I was spending a lot of hours working, a lot of time working, and sometimes business would be good, sometimes business would be bad. Most of the time business would be really bad. So I figured there has to be a better way. At one point, why I decided that something has to change is because I think it was like Christmas time. No, it wasn't Christmas time, it was Sarah's birthday when we bought the car for her, right? For Sarah's birthday, my daughter, I think she was turning 4 at that point. And we went to Walmart. It was 4 years old? Yeah. We went to Walmart, and I don't know if you guys know like those little Barbie cars that they sit down and they drive. At that point, we was living in a little complex. There was a lot of Spanish people there, and all the kids had those little cars that they sit down and they drive, those battery cars. At Walmart, I think the car was like 120.
No, $240.
240 bucks? Okay, the car was 240 bucks. We bought the car for her. She drove it that day and stuff like that. But at the next day, a few days after that, business was really bad with us, and we didn't have money to buy food or pay the rent or nothing like that. So what we had to do, we had to return that car to Walmart, and Walmart would not give you back the cash. They will give you like a card where you can buy credit. So we used that card and we bought food with it. That's how we was able to eat for that week. At that point, when I had to look at my daughter's face and tell her, I was embarrassed to tell her that we had to return it. So we told her that something was wrong with the car, right?
Yeah, we told her something was wrong with the car. And she was a little sad, but she was she was and she still is such a humble child. She was like, okay, and she understood that. And it wasn't a week later, it was about, I don't know, 2-3 months later. And you cannot return stuff after 30 days. And being in desperation, we needed to return it to get the car, the money, or the food. And the Walmart manager came in, and he was like, okay, I'll give you guys back, but not in cash. I'll give you guys back the card so you guys could shop for groceries. And that's what we did. And again, the struggle has been real.
So that's the second time that we hit rock bottom, or let's say the basement. And that, as a man, it can play games with your feelings and your ego and your emotions. To look at your child and knowing that you don't even have money to buy food, or look at your wife and knowing the things that she have to go through because you're not holding up your end as a man. So I figure, man, there has to be another way. That's when I started, I think, picking up books and learning about business instead of a mechanic. I still was doing mechanic, but I wanted to learn more about the business because I knew there was a lot of successful mechanics out there. And I wanted to know why they became successful. The reason they became successful is because they learned more about business and less about mechanics. So now I had to learn how to grow the business, how to manage the business, instead of how to swing in wrenches. At that point, that's when things started turning around a little bit for us. We was able to save a little money and buy a house. Oh man, that was an awesome day when we was able to do that. We was really excited. Then Trish was doing good with her medical assistant stuff.
Yeah.
And so tell them how you got into the real estate stuff.
So after I left the hospital and I got hurt, I decided, well, obviously I got into real estate because we wanted to grow our real estate business, as I mentioned that in one of the videos. And then we started, doing our buying the homes, we flip it, and then we'll buy and renovate, and then we rent it out. So that's why I got into real estate, and actually I got my broker's license about a couple months ago. And being a broker, I'll tell you the difference. So when you're a real estate agent, right, you hang your license under a broker, and then you have fees to pay. You have to give them, your commission, and they take their split and stuff like that. And I mean, I understand that because they have to run their business, right? So that's when you go to, these brand name brokerages. And listen, I respect that, right? But I was driven to get my brokerage license because I did not want to do that anymore. Yes, I want to get 100% commission and be able to give back to my community, give back to others, not to give back to someone who already is wealthy, right? That's why I was driven to do this, and I got my broker's license. But right now I'm not a broker because my license is still with another brokerage. So right now I am a broker's associate, but there's some good news coming soon. I can't talk about it right now because it hasn't happened 100%, but yes, I'm looking forward to the good things that is coming soon. Look forward to that. I'm gonna be doing my own thing soon.
All right. Now let's talk about why we decided to invest in real estate. The reason we decided to invest in real estate is because someone told me once that they're not making no more land. I'm like, okay, if they're not making no more land, that only means is that as the population grow, living places to live will increase, will appreciate in value. So, okay, we decide, okay, maybe we should invest in maybe some land or real estate. That is when around that time we got a buddy, Mike, a customer of mine from the shop. He came by and he was trying to buy a house cash, but he did not have all the funds. So he asked me, why don't we go partnership with it? I said, partnership? Hey, that sounds like a good idea. I always wanted to do this too. I don't know how I convinced my wife to do it, but I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Oh my gosh, and I have reasons why. I'm like that when it comes to stuff like that because.
Why, baby?
Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it because listen, the way I grew up and the things that I have seen.
Listen, Trisha come from a place called Trinidad, so you guys know what that means.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, guys,
no.
but it is what it is. What I've seen and what I've grown and seen and experienced in life, it's something that we have to have, and they don't teach in schools. It's something called common sense and street sense. And believe you me, by having that in here,
So what she means, she was very skeptical because we tried. Listen, The reason we tried is because we were both was working full time. By the time we get home, we have a child. We're exhausted. And we wanted more from life, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with wanting more from life, you know. Some people say, "Oh, rich people are this, rich people are that." By no means. I know a lot of rich people, and I go and ask them any question, and they're willing to help. They're some of the most charitable people that I know. Another quote that I read somewhere that people say, okay, that money is the root of all evil. But if you guys go back to the Bible, it doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. So that's a huge difference. And a lot of West Indian people, they think that, oh yeah, rich people are this, rich people are that. So, and that keeps them from not investing. And don't get me wrong, a lot of West Indian people, they work hard for their money and they save the money. There's nothing wrong with saving your money. But we wanted a little more than that. We didn't want to just have money in the bank and that's it, and not have a life, just work, and miss out on our kids' childhood. So we decided to do things a little different. We decided to take risk. Don't get me wrong, at that point we was young and we was a little more risky than we are now. Now we are not that risky. We take calculated risk. But at that point, we know we wanted more from life, even for us and for our kids. How are we going to spend more time with our kids? So what money does, money can buy time. If you have money, it doesn't mean that you're a mean person or you're this or you're that. It means that, okay, with money, you can buy a nice vacation with you and your family. You can even give it to your church or your charity or whatever. You can help a family member, help a friend, you know. You can do a lot more. And that doesn't mean that you're a mean person, you know, because you have more. It just means that, you know, you worked hard and now you want to enjoy yourself a little bit and give to your community and your charity, whatever makes you happy, you know.
And God bless you. You got to be able to, not you have to bless others. You just can't take everything for yourself. Yeah, you work hard for it, which is a blessing, and you did smart investment, but at the end of the day, you have to be a blessing to others. As simple as that. Be a blessing to others. And then you'll see how you'll multiply more. And when you multiply more, you're blessing others. And then it's a circle. Yeah.
I know I'm saying a lot of quotes and I'm reading a lot of quotes is because I love quotes. When I read something and I kind of like it, I like to share it. And that's why I'm saying a lot of these things that I heard, seen, or other people have told me. Someone told me one time that they asked God, oh Lord, why are you blessing me so much? And they heard a voice that says, so you can bless others. I'm going to be throwing in these little quotes because I think they're awesome. They help me every day. And if you have a good one, let me know. All right, where are we at now? Okay, investing. We lost a lot of money investing, believe me. We invest in businesses that failed. But I wouldn't say it failed because it taught us something. Look, losing 3 mechanic shops, it would have been easy to give up. It would have been easy to be like, okay, I tried 3 times, it didn't work. What makes you think it's gonna work the 4th time? You don't know when it's gonna work. Yeah. You just have to keep trying, keep persistent. And a lot of people say, don't burn the bridges. I will say, burn the boat, burn the bridges, stick with your plan A, because with persistent, that's how you're gonna be successful. Persistent and determination. Make goals, you know, write down your goals, write daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. But I think writing your goals down and keeping in your mind like what you are focusing for. And the biggest one of all, know why you are doing it. Your why has to be bigger than anything else, because motivation is only going to take you so far. But if your why is big enough, like let's say you're doing it because you want a better life for your kids, or you want a better life for your parents, or you want a nice house to live in or something, whatever you want to do, you know. Make sure that why is big enough, work hard towards it, and you're going to see when you accomplish it, it will feel so much better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, man?
Yeah, I agree.
I know you guys, I hope you guys are not getting tired of the quotes, but I'm saying this because there's a lot of West Indian people in our community, and we have had it hard. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people have had it hard, but one thing I know about West Indian people is that a lot of people have it hard, and they use it as an excuse to, okay, my father left when I was young, so that is why this is what I can do, or you know what, I live in Guyana or I live in Trinidad, I can't do better. No, 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 no. I know a lot of very successful people in Guyana, and I know a lot of very successful people in Trinidad, and I'm pretty sure you know too. You know them also. So if they can do it, so can you. One thing I always tell Trish, like when she started doing real estate, she was kind of worried. She was worried because of her Trinidadian accent. She's like, babe, but I don't speak English like certain people. I'm like, no. Don't try to be like certain people. Be you. Use your accent to your advantage. Be original. Be you. And that's what people like.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that people likes her more now because of who she is than if she tries to speak, walk, or talk like somebody else. So this is her success, being herself.
Yeah, that is true. Being myself. And yeah, I mean, in the beginning was a little, I got a lot of negative noise, but by the end of the day, I worked through it, and now I could say I'm doing pretty good. And I'm enjoying it. It's amazing, and I'm able to motivate others in my community to let them know that no, you could be a realtor, you could be a broker, you could do it. There's so much business out there. You don't have to be shy and timid because we are told that that's not our field of work, our line of work. So yeah, so it's awesome.
It is good, guys. Yes. So what I'm saying, use your past to your advantage. I read a story about two twins, a very successful lawyer, and his brother was in prison. And they went and they asked the brother that was in prison, hey, how come your brother's so successful? He's a lawyer. You guys have the same background, the same parents, grew up in the same neighborhood, the same opportunity, the same everything. How come he's a successful lawyer and you're a drunk and you're in prison? And he said it was because of my father, because my father was a drunk and he was in prison. That is why he wound up in prison. So they went and they asked the other brother, who's a lawyer, and they asked him, how come you're such a successful lawyer and such a successful person, such an inspiration to everybody else, and your brother's in prison? You guys had the same background, same family, same everything, same opportunities. And his response was because of his father. He didn't want to be like his father. He didn't want to be a drunk, and he didn't want to wind up in prison. So because of that, that story, you see, you can have a terrible background. You can have your parents could have left you. You could have been raised with your grandmother. Your parents could have beat you. Your parents could have anything. But don't use it as an excuse not to do something. Use it as an excuse to be better, to do better, to want to become something better than that and inspire others.
Yeah, that is true. Because my life growing up in Trinidad was very rough. I will tell you this. I have never gotten a birthday cake ever in my life until I met Dave. And on my 17th birthday, we celebrated, and he gave me a cake. But again, at the end of the day, our parents, they did not know how to show love because they were taught that way, and it's like a generation thing. So now we are doing right by our kids because we don't want that cycle to continue. We want to cut it and let them continue with how we are teaching them. So yeah, parents out there, especially young parents who grew up in Trinidad and Guyana, and your parents was a little rough with you because they didn't know better, so we can't blame them. But you could do better by your kids. Spend time with your kids. That's priority right there. Time spent with kids, you will never be able to get back. Raise them the right way. Don't call them names. Don't curse at your kids. When you curse at your kids, you're putting curses on their life. Just remember that. You raise them the right way. You teach them the right way. And most of all, other than giving them an education, you teach them about God. When they know about God and they have that care and a fear for God, you'd succeeded for them.
All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about work. Matter of fact, we're going to talk a little more about real estate because this is where we have gotten better for the past 12 years.
12 and a half. We always say 12, but it's like more than 12.
Yeah, more than 12, but let's
Timeline again.
for timeline reasons, let's say 12.
Yeah.
We love real estate. Reason why we love real estate is because it's an appreciating asset. Don't get me wrong, it can depreciate sometimes too, like what happened in 2008. But the one thing I'm gonna tell people, the time is gonna be very difficult to predict the exact time. The one thing I would say is that don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Without further ado, let me give you to Trish, who will tell you a little bit about the loans.
Okay. So before I get into the loan, I want to tell you guys, for investors out there, don't be afraid. For there's so much, even though you don't have a lot of money, you could do something called owner's financing, where you get owner to finance the loan for you. So they could have a mortgage, right? And you could actually give a small down payment, and they'll give you interest, on the note, and they will close with a title, everything. So if you will be the owner of the house, it's something called like a balloon mortgage, right? So you could do something like that if you don't have a credit score and stuff like that is not good enough. You could do something called owner's financing. We have done that on 2 homes already, and listen, it's good. It's very good. And we paid off for it in a certain time, and with the rent and stuff like that. So let me tell you, owner's finance is something you could go. Another one, you could do a HELOC, it's a line of equity on a property that you own, or you could refinance. And when you do that, you could take that money out and you could invest it in a rental property, right? You could invest it with 20% down, and guess what? You invest on that. Yes, I know you take out some money on your home. Your mortgage will probably go up $100 to $200, but by investing, when you invest and you purchase a home, you are acquiring more properties, and this will become your rental property. And you put 20% down, and you get a renter to rent a house from you, and just rent it for a little bit more, so you have money to put towards insurance and taxes and stuff like that, and to fix the house, and you could go about doing it that way. So don't think, oh yeah, we have a primary resident and we don't want to invest because we don't have no more funds. There's ways you could do stuff, all right? So I want to get into conventional loan versus FHA loan. So with a conventional loan, you could start at 3% down with a minimum credit score of 620, right? Or higher. And then you could do FHA loan. FHA loan, it's a government insured loan. You could have a credit score minimum of 580 with a 3.5% down. So with that being said, there's other loans, but those 2 loans are like the primary that people run to. The government insured, which is the FHA, they're a little stricter when it comes to certain things, especially for inspections. What these FHA appraiser does, because I have experience with quite a few of them, they look at something called WDO, and they look at that, and if a glass is broken, a window is broken, they more go for safety hazards. So that's something to take into consideration when it goes for FHA loan. Conventional will give you a little bit more room, but at the end of the day, it's you still have to be on point with your down payment and your credit score and stuff like that. And then it goes with your DTI. Your DTI is your debt to income ratio. It goes on your monthly pre-tax. For example, they look at your student loans, look at your car payments, stuff like that. All right, that's the VA and the the FHA and the conventional loan. So we also have VA, USD loan. There's so much other loans, right? Then there's something called hard money lending. So if VA, USDA, conventional, FHA, if they all turn you down, right, and you cannot get owner's financing, you could go another route, which is hard money lending. Yes, the interest rate is a little higher, but guess what? You you get that, the hard money lending, you get that money, you purchase the property, and then you have a plan. If you have a plan, a game plan, okay, I'm going to purchase this property, I'm going to have it rented out for a certain amount of time, I'm going to acquire some money, and then you could pay off for it, right? Or then you could do something called a bridge loan. I'm not a lender, guys, but my lender, he's amazing. He has educated me in this so that I could be able to educate my clients in regards to real estate and stuff like that. So I'm just giving you guys a little knowledge of what I know about, right? So yeah, so you could do something. You could get your hard money lender. You purchase a property, and within 6 months, if you have a plan to get your credit up or something to get want to co-sign with you, there's something you could call it's called a bridge loan, and then you refinance it and you go into conventional. So that's something for you guys to know as well. All right. So there's so much options out there, and don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself just because you're scared. Take that step. Take that step of faith. And again, if you have a primary residence and you want to turn that into a rental, turn it into a rental. Take out the money, go get 20% down, which there's something called a PMI, which is mortgage insurance. You don't have to pay. So when you put 20% on a conventional, you don't have to pay the additional $100 or $200 a month. So use that and get that in. You put that 20% down and get yourself another home, and then you just start generating it. There's something called, what's the method you were telling me about? Is the Burr method?
The Burr method.
What's the Burr method? Explain to them.
Okay, guys, what the Burr method is buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. So these, this is not easy. It's not easy. It's definitely tough, but it is a good method. Which especially, let's say if you use hard money, you can buy a property, a distressed property, rehabilitate it. A lot of the time, like you can buy, this is just for numbers purposes. There is houses, let's say you buy a house for $200,000. You put $20,000 in it to fix it up, and you can sell it back for $260,000, $270,000. So, okay, for 2-3 months, whatever the time you're spending rehabbing it, you pay the high interest rate on that, but you'll make back your money on the back end. We don't do too many of those right now, but we are planning to get into it. We are doing a lot of long-term rentals right now. Our method is to try to pay off the property in about 5 years and continue, but that takes us a long time. So now we are trying to figure out ways to acquire properties quicker, even if you make a little less profit. We're probably going to get into more about the Burr method or the refinancing method. The reason why is, let's say if you get a property. With a property, there is a very good book that you guys can read about this called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And what you can do, if you invest in a house, you invest, like us, we like to invest long term. A lot of people like to invest, flip it and make quick cash. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever works for you, you're gonna have to try different methods. And don't get me wrong, some of them you're gonna win, some of them you're gonna learn. Sometimes you're gonna learn the hard way. But you know what? If you keep at it in the long run, you can become successful at it. The reason we like real estate, as I said, is because it is an appreciating asset. And when you borrow the money towards a property is a good loan, meaning it's a good debt. A bad debt is when you take out money to buy like a liability. Robert Kiyosaki explains exactly the difference between a liability and an asset. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket, like a car or a watch or a house or anything like that. As long as it's taking money out of your pocket is a liability. Now, anything that is putting money into your pocket is an asset. Even if it's putting $100 a month, whatever is put in your pocket. So let's say you buy a house, you buy the house for $200,000, and don't get me wrong, I'm just throwing numbers, right? You buy the house for $200,000. You put $20,000 to fix it up. Now you're renting the house out for $2,000 a month, how much is your mortgage? Like $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month. Say tax and insurance, another $200, so $1,600. So every month on that property, you put in $200 in your pocket. Not 200, sorry, 400. So $400 a month you put it in your pocket from that one. So that's a good debt. And don't just look at that $400 that you're putting in your pocket every month, because every year that the property value is increasing. So you're also getting, on the back end, you're making money also. So if you really look at it, you're probably making about $800 a month whenever you decide to refinance or sell that property, because now the tenant is paying down your mortgage. That, I mean, I just think that that's amazing that, you know, you can buy a property. Let's assume you put $40,000 down or $30,000, whatever it is. Okay, on that $30,000 that you put down, the house, now somebody else is paying for the house for you. And 10 years, if you decide and you pay off the house in 10 years, now you own that asset. That asset is going to be generating money for your kids, for your grandkids, for a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, it was still generating a low amount, right? But guess what? The banks, right? If you have $40,000 in the bank, they're not going to give you $400 in interest a month, right? But if you take that $40,000 and you put it on a rental, right? You rent a house out for $2,000, right? I mean, you got to think about, you know, the location, how much you're going to put down, and you rent that house for $2,000 a month. Your mortgage is $1,600. You're getting $400 on that $40,000 a month, versus in the bank, how much you get?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And that's the difference between investors and West Indian mindset. So what I want you guys to do, especially West Indian people, whether you're here, you're in Guyana, you're in Trinidad, you're in Jamaica, you're in London, you're in wherever you are, I think you can do something, because I know if you look, you will find successful people all the way around you. And find somebody that is successful. Find somebody that where you want to be, where they are. Let's say fast forward 10 years. If you're in a job, look at the person 10 years ahead of you and see if there's where you want to be, that's fine. If there's where you don't want to be in 10 years, figure out where you want to be in 10 years. Find somebody that's there, ask them how they got there, and work your way back.
Yeah.
It's nothing better than doing something you love to do. Every day you go to work, it wouldn't be like working. It will be fun, it will be you growing, it will be a good day every day.
And let me tell you guys this, the reason why we are sharing this with you is because we want our West Indian people, our Caribbean community to grow. You know what I mean? We want all of us to grow, help each other out. You know, it's like, why just one should know and they're moving up and the other one shouldn't? We need to help each other and educate each other and teach each other. That's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, we know where we came from, right? Especially Guyanese and Trinidadian people, we know where we came from, and majority of us came from being very, very, very poor, right? I was one of them. We didn't have a refrigerator and stuff like that. Probably once in a blue moon, and then the bail man will come take it, or the bondsman will come take it, or a TV. So why I'm saying this to you is, we want to help each other grow, and by us sharing our experiences and the things that we have done, is to help you guys too, because we want to help each other. That's the main thing. And when I help you guys, someone is gonna help. If I'm not around, somebody's gonna help my grandkids, because I know my kids are learning from us. So we'll be able to help my grandbabies. Okay.
All right, guys. So, man, it's crazy how the time just flew out on us, huh?
Yeah.
But one thing I want to say, you know, I want to help. I want to help you guys change your mindset. Mindset is because we always operate in a scarcity mindset. I would like for you guys to do this practice and think in an abundant mindset. If we think in an abundant mindset, remember, whatever we think about, that's what we become. Someone once said that income does not far exceed personal development. So if you develop yourself personally, listen to audiobooks. That's one that has helped me a lot. When you're in your car, going to work, coming from work, 1 hour in the evening. Learn about your craft. Whatever job you are doing, it doesn't matter if you work at Ross, if you work at, if you do real estate, if you do construction, if you do whatever it is that you do. If you work 8 hours a day, that's just to survive. Anything after that is what's gonna make you grow, is what's gonna make you into a better person, is what is gonna grow your income. The reason that I wanna grow my income is because I love the freedom it gives, meaning that I don't have to worry or I don't have to stress. I can take my kids on vacation, we can go on vacation, or if we wanna buy something, we can buy it and we don't have to stress about it. That's one of the things, that's the reason why I like personal development, because the more I develop myself, the more I can develop my income, the more I can develop my family, the more I can spend more time with my family.
And I will tell you this, guys. Let's just say you have a hot dog stand, right? Or a little double stand. And you think, okay, I'm just making ends meet. But guess what? If you have this business plan that say, okay, I'm going to open 5 more hot dog stands in 5 different locations, 5 double stands in 5 different locations, you could generate that income. So it doesn't have to be real estate. I'm just giving you ideas. It doesn't have to be a mechanic shop. It could be whatever you love doing, but you could grow. You could have this game plan. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do in a year from now, right? I met this client of mine, and they're doing pretty well, and they were doing pretty well in Fort Lauderdale, and they actually moved to Orlando, and now they are killing it, and they have plans to do more. And it's just to show you that once you could change your mindset of be like, okay, I'm not just going to do this 8 hours, as Dave say, we could do more. You can accomplish so much more. There's so much more to accomplish. But at the end of the day, you could have everything in this world, right? You could have everything in this world and have the bills being paid. Everything is being paid. You're happy. You're going on vacations. You're doing this. You're just doing everything. You're living a happy life. But at the end of the day, if you don't have God, I'm telling you, if you don't have God as a foundation in everything that you do, it will just deteriorate. You have to have God as a foundation. And that's what Dave and I have had for quite a few years. Everything that we try to do, we give it to God. So if it's going to happen, it is because of God. And I will pray, God, if it's not meant to be, do not let it happen. You knows our future. It goes way back to New York when we were so young that we wanted our house so bad, but we did not get it because God knew it was going to get destroyed years later. So just remember that. It all comes down to God. All right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It all boils down to God. So, I want to close it off with letting you guys know, as Trish was saying about the hot dog stand, anytime you start something, begin with the end in mind. See where you want to be. If you open a hot dog stand, know, okay, by the end of 5 years, I want to have 5 hot dog stands. And then work your way backward. Begin with the end in mind. Have that vision. I always say, start small, think big, grow fast. Start small, think big, grow fast. Remember, have a growth mindset. Because I find like the secret to happiness is having a growth mindset. Every time we are growing, we are happy. I don't see like whenever we are stagnant, we worry, we think. But whenever we are growing and we accomplish our goal, not only financial goal, but family goal, vacation goal, any goal that you set, as long as when you're accomplishing it, you're happy. When you're working towards it, you're happy. And remember, a lot of the time, we tend to not shoot too high because we're afraid that we would miss. But I would rather you shoot for the moon and hit a star.
Yeah.
At least you'll still be farther ahead.
And something, I want to say thank you for that video we made, that humble beginnings video. I have gotten quite a few phone calls. I won't say a few, quite some phone calls from people all over telling us that we inspire them. And listen, if you want to call me, it doesn't have to be for real estate. You call me if you want to. If you want to, to hear more about me and how I I actually put the mind to go through, you know, the things in life that we had to face, call me anytime, 407-790-9605. Again, you don't have to call me for real estate. You could call me for anything else. Okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for your support. You guys actually, you guys have inspired us.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you guys, your support, your
Yeah.
love, your lovely comments. It really makes us feel good. It actually is inspiring, and it makes us want to do more. That is why we're kind of putting everything out there, because of you guys. Thank you. You guys have been amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, and just remember, guys, if we can do it, you can do
Yeah.
it.
If there's a will, there's a way. Always remember that the sky is the limit.
Yes.
Yeah.
God bless.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.